This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. But here now the news for February 2nd, 2024. Actually, before we get to the news real quick, I got to plug a couple things. Number one, next week we're going to make some pretty big announcements here at WDWNT. One of those big announcements is going to be regarding our next event, which it's been a hot minute since we've done one of these, but our next event is Stage 89, which is a celebration of 35 years of Disney's Hollywood Studios and as well 30 years of the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. So what we're doing is actually here in Celebration and the Walt Disney World area, we're actually doing an in-person event for 5 days, May 1st through the 5th, which on May 1st, we're going to be in the park. We'll do some ride meetups and stuff to celebrate the actual anniversary. I'm sure Disney will do something. We're going to have a special edition of News Tonight. We're going to have a rededication and reopening of our studio and museum space here at WDWNT Celebration. As well, we're going to have a number of very special guests here, former Imagineers, people who worked on a number of very important attractions in the history of Disney's Hollywood Studios. And we're going to reveal some of those people next week on Wednesday. So next week on the show on Wednesday, I will reveal the first several guests, and they are some of the biggest we've ever had, and it's pretty exciting. And also, we're going to put tickets on sale. So both in-person tickets and as well our streaming tickets, so you can watch from home. All those presentations will be available on next Wednesday. And again, I will give you all the details when we get to News Today. So 2 episodes away, we'll talk more about it. But I wanted you guys to get ready to save the date. It's going to be a real big event and some incredible presentations and panels and guests and opportunities I thought we would never have. So stay tuned. I'm very excited. I think it's going to be the best event we've ever done. More details will come. Real quick, also, I got to plug one of today's sponsors, which is Park Candy. Park Candy provides us these great shirts, the one I'm wearing today, which is one of my favorites. It's Epcot, but also you can wear this in the real world, and only people that know Epcot even know it's an Epcot shirt. It's great. So go to www.nt.link/parkcandy and enter code WDWNT to save 15%. It's also a great way, using that link's a great way to support our show. So thank you for doing that. They have a lot of great stuff, not only shirts for men. They have dresses and bags and bottle openers and all sorts of great stuff. So please go check out Park Candy today. Now let's get to the news. Disney's federal lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District, or the CFTOD, has been dismissed by United States District Judge Alan Windsor. In the suit's conclusion, Windsor gave a judgment that this case was resolved on motions to dismiss. Plaintiffs' claims against the governor and the department secretary are dismissed without prejudice for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Plaintiffs' claims against the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District board members are dismissed on the merits for failure to state a claim. In the 17-page clerk's judgment, Windsor explains that Disney lacks standing to sue the governor and secretary, and the claims against CFTOD fall on merits because when a statute is facially constitutional, a plaintiff cannot bring a free speech challenge by claiming that the lawmakers who passed it acted with a constitutionally impermissible purpose. Disney originally filed their case against DeSantis and the CFTOD over a, quote, targeted campaign of government retaliation orchestrated at every step by Governor DeSantis as punishment for Disney's protected speech in relation to Florida's, quote unquote, Don't Say Gay bill, the parental rights and education law, and DeSantis' dissolution of the former Reedy Creek Improvement District and transformation into the current CFTOD. CFTOD pushed back against this in September in their motion to dismiss, citing that Disney does not have a First Amendment right to its preferred governance structure for the district in which it is located. In a statement Disney shared with Variety, they indicated that the company plans to appeal the decision to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals. This is an important case with serious implications for the rule of law, and it will not end here. If left unchallenged, this would set a dangerous precedent and give license to states to weaponize their official powers to punish the expression of political viewpoints they disagree with. We are determined to press forward with our case. Governor DeSantis is calling this a mistake. They should move on, he said at a Jacksonville news conference on Thursday via Fortune. Again, I just want to put things in perspective here, and I don't really understand why this isn't being brought up, but in the midst of taking away Disney's special district, they're giving Universal one. That seems like a problem. That seems irrational, and that seems like a unethical decision in my book. But why one could have it and not the other, when your complaint before was why does one have it and not the other? It seems kind of crazy, but we'll see what happens. The fighting wages on. In honor of the upcoming Valentine's Day, Disney Fairy Tale Weddings and Honeymoons announced several new offerings, including a new wedding location available by Spaceship Earth at Epcot. Guests can now get married in World Celebration Gardens at Epcot with Spaceship Earth as their backdrop. Disney is offering private after-hours wedding ceremonies and receptions in the location, which offers a unique lighting display choreographed to music with changing colors. It's available to book for weddings in January 2025 and beyond. I hope that's not an indication of when the last walls are coming down. Please come down sooner. The 2024 Disney Fairy Tale Weddings collection of Disney princess-inspired wedding gowns is co-created with Allure Bridals. It features dresses inspired by Ariel, Aurora, Belle, Cinderella, Jasmine, Pocahontas, Rapunzel, Snow White, and Tiana. As well, a new Cinderella wedding coach is joining the fleet at Disneyland Resort. It's adorned with 75 hand-shaped leaves, a pumpkin canopy, and vines. Couples can board the coach when arriving or departing their ceremony or reception beginning in March of 2024. On Thursday morning, we spotted Walt Disney World testing new X-ray machines with cast members at an Epcot security station. Testing was taking place on the left-hand security gate when approaching Epcot, the one they only use like for 5 minutes in the morning and never for any other time of day. Disney is not yet testing the X-ray machine with guests. The X-ray machines are for bags and other items and are used in combination with the contactless scanners that guests walk through, which were tested and installed throughout 2020. So the idea here would be you go through. If you go off in the contactless scanner, then instead of them rummaging through your bag, they could just put your bag through the X-ray machine. Of course, Universal Orlando uses X-ray machines for bag check, and several other parks around the world do as well. It'll be interesting to see if they want to do this. I know there have been a lot of guest complaints about Disney security cast members rummaging through their bag, whether warranted or unwarranted. Of course, several weeks ago here on the show, there was the famous, the lady that swung her bra through the air. I've heard similar stories from people. So I get this. I don't have a problem with this if it's for the people that get pulled off to the side anyway. I think most people would prefer it go through a machine and not get unpacked if possible. So I think this is a great idea, but let us know in the comments how you feel. Special Walt Disney World Resort hotel rates are available to Disney Visa card members this spring. The rates vary based on hotel room type and travel dates, but are available for several hotels for most days March 25th through June 29th of this year. Here are some of those available rates at the All-Star Movies Resort and All-Star Music Resort. It's $129 a night plus tax for a standard room for stays most nights March 25th through April 27th. At Caribbean Beach, it's $229 a night plus tax for a standard view room accommodating up to 5 guests for stays most nights March 25th through June 29th. At Disney's Boardwalk Inn, it's $419 a night plus tax for a resort view room for stays most nights, again, March 25th through June 29th. Special rates are also available for that time period at the following resort hotels: the cabins at Disney's Fort Wilderness Resort, Disney's All-Star Movies Resort Preferred Room, Disney's All-Star Music Resort Preferred Room and Family Suites, the All-Star Sports Resort, Animal Kingdom Lodge, both Standard and Savannah View, Disney's Animal Kingdom Villas, Kidani Village, Disney's Art of Animation Resort, the Cars Family Suites specifically, Disney's Contemporary Resort, Disney's Coronado Springs Resort, Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, Old Key West, Pop Century, Port Orleans French Quarter and Riverside, Saratoga Springs Resort and Spa. Guests must stay a minimum of 1 night and a maximum of 14 nights. Card members must use their valid Disney Visa card or Disney Rewards redemption card to pay the deposit. Man, I want to talk to the people that have earned enough Disney Visa reward dollars to do that. Talk about golds. Someone's using that card, right? Of course, the card member must also stay in the room. If you want to book this deal, well, this program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, Be Our Guest Vacations. If that news story was confusing, make it their problem. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest, and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to beourguestvacations.com/WDWNT, and their team will design your next magical vacation from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resorts, the Disney Cruise Line, to Adventures by Disney and more. They're also able to book unforgettable VIP tours where you and your group can experience the ultimate park day. The best part is their concierge services are 100% free, so book today. This week, a Magic Kingdom guest jumped or fell from a Tom Sawyer Island raft into the rivers of America and then refused to swim ashore. Tom Sawyer Island is located in the heart of the rivers of America and Frontierland, at least for now. Guests can visit the island by boarding a log raft that travels to and from Tom's Landing. A Facebook user shared the photo in a Walt Disney World group of a guest in the water near a raft docked at Tom Sawyer Island. The user said the incident happened around 2 p.m. on Wednesday, January 31st. They asked if anyone else knew what ultimately happened, as they saw the guest refuse to swim ashore after receiving a life preserver. Comments on the post gave somewhat conflicting reports of the incident. One user, who stated they were in line for a Tom Sawyer Island raft at the time, said the guest was special needs and fell in the water. Others insisted the guest jumped. Jumping from any ride, of course, is dangerous, and it should be assumed that any body of water in Florida has alligators in it, or, those with ride tracks and things in it have sharp metal objects in them. Of course, the Liberty Square riverboat also passes through the rivers of America, which has underwater tracks, as I just mentioned. Cast members are trained to time the rafts crossing in the riverboat, so there's no risk of collision, but, if you're sitting in the water, there's a chance. Though there have been no significant incidents in the rivers of America at Magic Kingdom, 2 guests have sadly drowned in the rivers of America at Disneyland in 2 separate incidents in 1973 and 1983. Tom Sawyer Island at the Magic Kingdom is open daily from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. It's only accessible via those rafts. Also, that water's not very deep, so I don't know if obviously if the guest had special needs, then that would explain that better. But otherwise, if someone had jumped in like as a joke or a bet, remember we saw the guy jump in World Showcase Lagoon on a bet, they'd be able to walk ashore in most cases. So we don't know what the full story is, but either way, it's weird and wild to see someone in the river. Tiana's famous beignets have finally made their way to the Magic Kingdom for Celebrate Soulfully 2024, and we were there to try them on the first day. You could find those famous beignets at the Golden Oak Outpost in Frontierland. The quick service kiosk is located to the left of what will eventually be Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So these are actually Devonshire croissant beignets, and as the name goes, they're made from croissant dough rather than deep-fried pastry dough served at Port Orleans. While it may not sound like a major difference, they're very, very different. I know some people were disappointed by this. I didn't get to try them myself, but go read the review at WDWNT.com if you want to know if they're still worth it, even though they may not fit your traditional definition of a beignet. The Build Your Own Lightsaber experience at Disney's Hollywood Studios has returned to normal after almost 4 years, allowing guests to build a lightsaber of their own, on their own without cast member help. When Walt Disney World reopened in July of 2020 after the COVID-19 pandemic, the Build Your Own Lightsaber experience was heavily modified to accommodate physical distancing requirements and account for sanitizing. Only a couple of guests would be able to build a lightsaber at a time from a single bin of parts brought to them by a cast member. Now guests can once again peruse the full selection of parts by themselves, choose their part, try different combinations, and build their lightsaber without the cast members facilitating the offering. Cast members are, of course, still on hand to help guests if they have any questions or problems with the experience. It's hard to believe, obviously the sanitizing and all that wasn't still happening, but it's hard to believe that they had, I guess they liked the way, maybe it sped up the experience, and I know Disney was probably like, oh, we actually sell more lightsabers an hour if the cast members are holding hands or holding the guest's hand essentially through the experience. But I think that as a kid, right, what you want to do is you want to run up to the bins and try this on and throw it back in. And, it's a nice departure from, like, Savi's is the adult version of this, right? It's very serious and the parts are metal and you examine them and you pick a, kyber crystal. And this version is, this is for the younger guests, and it definitely, part of that experience is the excitement of running around the station putting the thing together. So I'm glad they put this back to normal. Disney's Animal Kingdom is celebrating the debut of another animal this week, as baby Okapi Elijah can now be seen at the park. The announcement of Elijah's debut was shared on the official Instagram account of Dr. Mark Penning, who is the Vice President of Disney's Animal Science and Environment. This marks the 14th birth of this endangered species at Walt Disney World. Guests can now find him with his mom on stage at Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. According to the Post, Elijah was born in October of 2023. He was named after a special 50-year cast member who plays a critical role in maintaining the animal habitats at the park. Elijah first joined the company at Magic Kingdom in June of 1973, not the Okapi, but the person, and transferred to the horticulture department at Animal Kingdom when the park opened in 1998. As this cast member, also named Elijah, is so beloved, the team decided to name the Okapi after him. It's very cute. A new monthly cookie has arrived at Gideon's Bakehouse in Disney Springs to celebrate the start of February. It's called the Strawberry Delight. This month's menu card features Margaret, a lovelorn bride from beyond the grave. Her story is detailed on the back of the card. Of course, in honor of, I will never forget, one of my favorite News Today moments of all time is reading the backstory of Stuart Valencia, the Orange Boy, to all of you. So let's find out about Margaret, shall we? We're all familiar with Till Death Do Us Part, but what if the opposite were true? When Margaret was sadly taken before her time, all seemed lost, and sometimes, though, the bond of love is stronger than the grip of the beyond. And though part of the spirit world, Margaret returns daily to exchange vows with her beloved, a pledge the two made before her passing and will continue to make until her lover has lived their final day and the two can be reunited somewhere beyond the veil. The other cookie for February is the Eternal Flame, which was offered last year for February. We reviewed that last year. But the Strawberry Delight is $6.50. It's strawberry cookie made with house-made strawberry puree, dark chocolate, and strawberry-infused sugar. Read the review at WDWNT.com. For the absolute latest on these stories and all that didn't make it into today's show, and also the backstory of Stuart Valencia, the Orange Boy, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can support the entire team behind this show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to all of our WIGS members watching who make this show happen every week. Do you think Margaret's lover is Stuart Valencia? Is it all connected? I don't know. These are the intrusive thoughts I'm having today. Anyway, for the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is why I shouldn't leave. This is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And never forget Stuart Valencia.